Hello viewers, in this video we're gonna see how many deaths there are in VHS 94, released in 2021, which is 7 years after the last move, and the fourth move in the series. With 4 segments, and a wraparound there is a handful amount of deaths here. How many exact? Let's find out. For the first few deaths in the interlude we have a bunch of bodies with their eyes removed, starting with and later we have these 6, which I thought were mannequins at first. Now for the first segment we have this. This is Ratma, probably the series' most iconic monster along with the succubus in the first move. Something comes out of his mouth, which is used to kill cameraman Jeff.
Of Ratma.
I'll let the next death play out.
Jesus fucking Christ!
What a horrible death. Next segment has a death I won't count.
What?
Andrew Edwards is the name of the guy who jumped off the roof of that church down in Haysburg. You heard about that, right?
We didn't really see it happen, and even if the guy is seen he is a bum, but we didn't see him before he became one. This death might be a bit confusing, but as after the tornado wrecks the plane, we see her possessed, which I'll just count as dead. Back in the wraparound, there is just the scattered remains of someone, which I'll count. The next segment starts with the head of someone on a spider robot, but he isn't long for this world. This segment actually gets pretty crazy, but before that the guy responsible for that craziness is executed for his crimes. He gets the last laugh though, because as the SWAT team is getting out, which kills that guy, and this one, whose legs are blown off. Things seems messed up, but it gets more messy as that thing wakes up and slices this officer in half. That thing is Subject 98, and he'll kill a lot more SWAT officers in the segment like these two, who he slices. And this officer, who he just decapitates. I'm counting this severed head, who doesn't match with the other decapitations that happened, so I think it's a new death, but not this guy, because he's the same as number 14. Next death is a SWAT officer, who we hear gets killed. And the same happens to these two. There are a bunch of failed experiments throughout the lab that I'll count, like this body, this head, this one with a gas mask, this one that's just messed up, and last this, who gets her life support taken. As Subject 99 installs this literal handgun, she kills a bunch of SWAT officers with it. I'll just let it play out. last of these officers to get killed is this one, who gets stabbed in his cheeks. Next death is the captain, after beating subject in the eye and ripping something off her. He gets shot by one of his men whose name is Jono. He gets his arm ripped off by subject 98, who returns in this segment, and gets his brain ripped off, killing him. Jono bleeds out to death, and that's the last we'll see of him. As for subject 99, she's alive as seen in this CCTV footage. Back in the wraparound we see this character lying on the ground that I'll just assume died here. In this segment we see this guy get killed several times that I'm not counting, since he just comes back alive. So the first death of this segment is this bunny.
Don't be such a fucking...
Next death is this dude who's lying in the ground there with a neck injury. This severed head gets thrown, which makes this guy so scared. He fires that mounted machine gun which kills this guy. But not this one, he appears later. After all that, Steve comes out, but since he's covered in vampire blood he explodes. I'm also gonna count these guys, since we don't see them again. For the last few deaths in this segment, this vampire bites this dude's face off. He then kills this guy by bashing his head on the floor. Then he bites this other guy's face. And then the vampire dies along with the militia leader when he gets exposed to sunlight exploding. Back in the wraparound, this guy's eyes are gone. The last death is Slater, who appeared in the last segment and gets his head beaten with a hammer.
Some help here, Nash? My camera's fucking stuck!
Brit Arl. VHS 94 has a total of 56 deaths, the segment with the most deaths being the subject with all those SWAT officers killed, and the failed experiments. With a move runtime of 103 minutes there is an average of 1 death every 1.84 minutes. My favorite death being Anchorman Mark, since it was pretty gruesome. Next video would be VHS 99, and after VHS 85, so stay alert if those videos do come out.
I'm Holly Marciano, Channel 6 News. Hail Radma.